Hogan Gidley, Deputy Press Secretary. How you doing, sir? Nice to see you, and welcome back. I want to share our viewers who else is on the list. Clapper and Comey and Hayden and Yates and Rice and McCabe and Strzok and Page and Bruce Orr. You want to make some news? Who's next?
Well, I can't get ahead of anything the president would announce, but as you guys have been talking about since this announcement was made yesterday, it's been pretty clear. The president's been frustrated with some of the actions of the people you just mentioned. He's looking into the security clearances of those individuals, and this is not a right. It is a privilege, and some people abuse that privilege, and the president's taking a look at it. Someone like Mr. Brennan himself, who lied before Congress on at least 2 occasions that we know of, one about the Steele dossier not being used by the intelligence community, which was false. He also lied to Congress about spying on Congress. So he's lying to the very body that he was spying upon. So this person has a long history of abusing that privilege, and the president took care of it. He has the right to do so, and he's done it.
Just to put a fine point on this, there will be no news on this today? No names today?
Well, no. The finer point is I can't get ahead of anything the president will announce.
So it's possible?
It's always possible.
All right. And meanwhile, the president's going to be embarking on this journey to New York. What are his plans, Hogan?
Well, I can't really talk about that one either, actually, Sandra, because it's political in nature. But what the president will be discussing quite regularly throughout the next coming weeks and months are the facts that he wants people in office who actually support his economic agenda, who want to close down the borders and allow legal immigrants who can contribute to society in this country. He wants people in office that support the things that he supports, the things that he was elected to execute while President of the United States. And so many people out there right now, as you guys know, Democrats mainly want to have open borders, they want to abolish ICE, and they want to raise taxes. We think that's a losing message. The president wants to do the opposite on all of those things. And we've seen yesterday in the cabinet room, Larry Kudlow stood up and explained the biggest news story of the year is something that was unseen, unforeseen by the prognosticators and pundits, and it was a booming economy under this president, something we were told would never happen again, that the president would hurt this economy irrevocably for the rest of our lives, and instead the exact opposite has happened. More people are back to work, consumer confidence is at an all-time high, jobs are being created at record levels, and it's all because of this president's policies.
But there's a lot of distractions. Is the president frustrated that he can't have that the message coming out of this administration right now, Hogan?
Well, look, 93% of the news coverage against this president is negative. So it's frustrating for the fact that we're doing so much good for the American people. I mean, as I mentioned, the economy is soaring right now. People at every level are bringing home more money. Record numbers of unemployment in the African-American communities, the Hispanic communities, amongst women. These numbers are incredible, but for whatever reason, the media doesn't want to cover it. And when you give them the opportunity, quite frankly, to cover policy or palace intrigue, 9 times out of 10 they'll cover palace intrigue. But we don't care about that because we're working for the American people. The president has his head down, and he's trying to get the things accomplished so that this country is great again, unlike what Mr. Cuomo had to say.
Let's come back to Cuomo in a moment here, but I want to go back to the statement from the former intel officials, including General David Petraeus and Michael Hayden, who have worked for Republicans and Democrats. This is part of the statement. They said, as individuals who have cherished and helped preserve the right of Americans to free speech, even when that right has been used to criticize us, that signal is inappropriate and deeply regrettable. What is the White House's response to this list of prominent Americans? David Petraeus, a man who's well respected.
Of course David Petraeus is respected, but the point here is we're talking about Mr. Brennan, someone who lied before Congress on multiple occasions. The president has the right to do this. He also has the whole of all the information. He sees it all, he understands it, and realizes this person's privilege of having security clearances needs to be taken away, and he acted to do that.
Well, here is that moment, again, from Governor Cuomo you referenced. Let's listen to it together and get your response.
We're not going to make America great again. It was never that great.
You know, it just doesn't seem to be going away this morning. I'm being told that there is a new Andrew Cuomo tweet out right now. And here it is. Oh, okay. So this is the president just now, Hogan. Wow, big pushback on Governor Andrew Cuomo of New York for his really dumb statement about America's lack of greatness. I have already made America great again. Just look at the markets, jobs, military setting records, and we will do even better. Andrew choked badly. Mistake. It's spelled incorrectly to point out. Choked was
Look. It's 100% correct. Let's take a look at what we're seeing here across the country with the Democrat Party. Someone like Mr. Cuomo comes out, it's almost like a rush to see who can show the harshest hatred for this country. It's disgusting and it's disgraceful to say the biggest, best idea in the history of the planet, America, is being derided by someone who lives in America. And by the way, what's stupid about the argument that Mr. Cuomo is making, he wants open borders. We let 1.1 million people in here legally every year. He wants hundreds of thousands of people who come here illegally to also be let in. No borders whatsoever. But if the country's so bad, how come so many people want to come here? And why is he advocating for those people to come here illegally or legally? He should tell them to go somewhere else if he doesn't like this country. And quite frankly, he should too.
Last topic, Paul Manafort, the jury's in deliberations. What does the White House have to say about his case at the moment?
Listen, this case has nothing to do with President Trump. It has nothing to do with President Trump's campaign, and it has nothing to do with the White House. There is no reason that we would comment on the ongoing Manafort trial.
Is Paul Manafort not guilty?
I have no idea. I've not seen really anything but what the news reports are saying. But again, it has nothing to do with us here, so we're not going to comment on it.
Thank you so much for your time. I hope you come back, all right?
Anytime. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Hogan.
Hogan Gidley from the North Lawn there. Thank you.